knew you would return, Andre, but all three of you at the same time? And what about the towers? Arlen hasn't told me he's got a signal yet.
That's because Squire and I went to find your son and save him from mutants, robots, and his own stupidity.
It's true. I fucked up and I'm lucky they found me. I certainly would have died if they had searched for me right away.
I'm grateful then that you're alive, Andre. You look well now, though. Why did you not complete the mission? Did Mina not tell you?
Yes, she did. But I decided to return and regroup. Healing me used all of our remaining medical supplies, and I didn't want to get in a situation where that would be a problem. Once we restock, I can go out there and finish the mission.
No. If someone has to go out again, it can be Squire and I. You've lost too much blood, Andre. We need to go to the medbay now.
I'm ready to get to work.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think I'm going to have some of my other people do the towers. It's time more raiders know how to handle the radio equipment anyway. Go with Mina and Andre to the medbay, and help Mina if she needs it. I'll check in soon to see how Andre is doing, and to brief you on what's next.
Can't keep doing this forever.
You didn't need to say it was your choice to abandon the mission.
No, but it's better he's angry with me than you. And you were right about the blood, Mina. The return trip was difficult enough for me. It was the right call.
Yep. Now get on your back. And Squire, go into the med supplies and get me a blood pack. It's important to get the one that Princess wrote Andre on.
Why?
Something about blood being different for different people. Princess told me it was important to not give the wrong type. Stop delaying and get it!
It's Loctite.
Then you'll need to use the terminal to unlock the gate. And I assume you'll need the password for that? It's Kitty Cat, with the K and C switched.
Cute. Hey.
You got the blood?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's just hope I remember how to do this.
You'll do great, Mina.
No need to get up, Andre. We need to make sure you fully recover. I have sent Arlen, Blade, and one of the new recruits out to finish the remaining towers. I have nothing more at the moment for you to do. Use this time to rest.
Mina patched me up pretty well. I don't need any more rest. In fact, if you have nothing else, now's a good time to return to finding Kat. There's a museum.
Enough of this, Andre. You've already almost died looking for Kat once, and you're still guessing at where she is now. Maybe she doesn't want to be found. Think about it, Andre. We killed her family, we destroyed her home, and we took her as a prisoner. You might have been better than any other raider she could have met, but she was still your slave. No one is going to forget or forgive all of that. And yes, she slept with you and smiled at you and talked to you. But of course she would. She's cunning. Why do you think we always used Kat as bait in our ambushes and traps? She's pretty and a good liar. She's easy to trust.
You don't know what you're talking about. And you don't know her because you never tried. You always blamed her for what happened to your arm during the attack.
I know her better than you might think. She figured you out, Andre. She knew what you wanted and gave it to you. She played weak so you could be strong. She realized no raider here was going to mess with your girl. Even Mina here was careful to make sure you approved before she tried anything.
That's not how it happened at all. We weren't together until after she chose to be a raider. And she looked after me just as much as I looked after her.
Of course she did. You were her protection from the rest of the raiders. As long as you and Mina were alive, she was safe. Kat never told you that she was the one who sabotaged Arlen's equipment. She didn't trust you, but I overheard her telling Mina. It was a plan to keep you alive, but she was spending less and less time with you. Instead, she was helping Mina find a new cat, or hiding in this room.
Maybe you think she's that selfish, but I know she isn't. She needs our help, and I will find her, and I will help her.
Then you will do it on your own, Andre. And you will do it after we're done with the gunners. You need to regain your strength. Besides, Kat is safer wherever she is now than facing the gunners. And that's what we're doing next. All of our manpower will be brought against their HQ.
It's safer for all of us, with them out of the picture.
All right, I get the picture. We'll deal with the gunners first, but then I'm looking for Kat.
I'm on board. When do we start?
I'm thinking 4 days from now is when we'll attack the HQ. That will give Arlen and Blade time to return, and for the rest of us to prepare. As for you, I suggest you prepare as well. Stock up on any equipment and finish up any other business you might have. This is going to be a tough fight, and we're certainly going to need your skill and experience. So make sure you're back here within 4 days.
I want to thank you again for helping Mina rescue me. I know my stubbornness has caused some trouble. If you'd be willing, I was hoping you could look a bit for Kat before we fight the gunners. I was going to look at a museum up north around Concord. Maybe you could look there. And if you do find her, give her this knife. It's special to her. You don't need to make her come back, just tell her I want to meet up so we can talk.
That was Personality by Johnny Mercer.
Hey,
Are you all right?
Ah, welcome back. Katrina and I were just talking about you.
No, we weren't. Not really.
Oh, it was all positive, I assure you. Katrina is very thankful to have your help, and so am I. You're a good friend. I wish there was more I could do to show my gratitude. I have caps and drinks and the like, but that feels cold and uninspired. Still, do you need anything?
no, but I appreciate the hospitality.
That is very noble of you. I hope I don't embarrass you by saying your selflessness is a model for us all. I still have something I'd like to give. Please wait here.
I'm going to go outside. Come talk to me when you're done.
And here you are. I hope you enjoy it. Before you go and talk with Katrina, I was hoping we could talk a little. It won't take long.
Sure. What's on your mind?
I know Katrina thinks I'm stubborn. I am. And I'm certain she's complained to you about that. She's right, too, of course. You both are. But I'm worried about her. She's putting herself in so much danger looking for a miracle cure that likely no longer exists. I've never heard of this Prussian blue before, and I've encountered countless wasteland doctors over the years trying to sell miracle medicines. I'm 56. That's a pretty good age for someone to make with my experiences. Whatever is left of my life is not worth risking either of yours. You're both young.
What can I say to convince her?
I'm afraid there's nothing either of us can say. She's stubborn too. And don't tell her this, but there is something else, something I would understand if you did it. If you did it to keep her safe and stop her from endlessly searching the wasteland. I read her notes. All that we know about this Prussian blue is that it's a bluish powder. If you could find something like that, she wouldn't know.
This will not help, monsieur.
I know it won't help me, but it will help Katrina.
I'm so confused.
Don't worry about it, Curie. Just don't tell Katrina about what we talked about. What matters most is that you all tried to help. That is what Katrina needs to believe.
And she'll believe me?
I think so. She trusts you. Just make sure there's no obvious giveaway.
I'll keep an eye out, but no promises.
That's all I ask. It should be easy enough to crush up something like mentats for powder, then mutfruit could be used to make a dye. You shouldn't keep Katrina waiting any longer. Be safe out there, and I'm sure you'll do the right thing.
Breathe. Get plenty of oxygen into your blood. It will help.
Thanks, Curie.
I am happy to help.
Hey there.
Are you doing all right? I realize I haven't always come off as grateful for what you've been doing and risking to help us. To help me. But I am grateful.
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I remember when I was always like that. Never wanting or needing. Just helping. I miss that. And where did you get that knife? It looks familiar.
Andre, thought you might want it back.
Of course he'd think I would want it, wouldn't he? Well, I don't. Some people never learn. This knife is the last thing that would make me return. It's why I can't return.
Why? What's the matter?
More than I'd like to admit. I was once a good person, you know. A lot of this probably doesn't make much sense to you. I don't blame you. It doesn't make much sense to me sometimes. Most of the time. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Remember, I was first their slave? But, unlike the other slaves, I was given the opportunity to become a raider. I just had to prove myself loyal. Mina gave me this knife, just as I was leaving for my proving. She said to keep it hidden. It seemed odd, but I assumed it was just one of her lessons. Andre, John, a few of the raiders and I then traveled to a small settlement. Only 4 people. A guard who we killed and then a family. A mother, father, and son. John had them tied up and arranged in a semicircle, far enough apart neither could reach the other. He then had a big brute of a raider rip off the mother's clothes in front of everyone. It was awful. The laughing, crying, yelling. And then John marched me into the middle. In front of the family, he put his hand on my shoulder and proudly talked to them. Let me introduce you all to our little slave, Kat. We're all here because this is a big day for her. She wants to be a raider like us, and you 3 are going to help her. If she still wants it, of course. I was getting scared. He was squeezing my shoulder so hard. There was only one right answer. I don't know if anyone else heard me respond, but John did. Excellent, John said. It startled me, the evil joy in his voice. Then he let go of me and walked towards the boy. It's just a boy. A few years younger than me, maybe 16. Listen here, boy. Your mom is about to be raped and you and your dad are about to be killed. He undid the boy's binds, and he knelt down behind the boy and laid reassuring hands on his shoulders and continued. Unless you kill her. Kill her and you'll be a hero. We have no reason to be here if she's dead. Kill her or your family dies. and the boy charged me. No hesitation, he started punching and kicking, trying to grab my throat. I hesitated. I thought they wanted me to join. What was happening? I started fighting back, of course, but I was weak being a slave and he was strong. And then I remembered Mina's knife. I flipped it open and just started slashing and stabbing. Things were blurry and I was getting dizzy. I could taste blood. There was so much blood. His, mine. And then the screaming, the cursing, and the laughter. That joyous, cruel laughter. The boy was dead. Your girl did it, Andre. She's one of us now. Get that collar off of her. She's a raider now. Andre was silent, but he did as he was told. And I remember when that collar came off. I was no longer walking, but flying. I could feel nothing, like I was weightless. It sounds stupid, I'm sure. John wasn't done, of course. There were still the parents to deal with. The parents who were cursing me and calling me a monster. A whore. They hated me. Not John, not the brute. Me. Kat, you're free now. You can decide what to do with these two. We can leave now. Let them bury their son. They won't ever forget you, but I'm sure they'll never catch you. I slit their throats. I remember touching my neck all the time for weeks after that, making sure it was not a dream or a nightmare, making sure the collar was actually off. That I got something for all that I gave away.
What about Andre?
We never talked about that night after. No one did. Except for John. Sometimes he'd remind me of what I did, how I became a raider and won my freedom. I don't think Andre knew how it was going to happen. Sure, he probably thought I'd have to kill to prove myself, but not like that.
John wanted to make you suffer. Why?
Control, I suspect. Make me feel guilty, and why would I leave? He's always been good at finding how to control others.
I can't even imagine having to go through something like that.
I'm sure this all sounds overdramatic. We've all killed lots of people. What are 4 out of 30? 100. It's just survival. That's what Andre would say and Mina would think. I'm a survivor like them. I'm alive, but what's left? Katrina the medic, the daughter, the farmer, the girl, she's gone. Dead. This knife. I've often wondered if I should have tried to kill John instead, or turn it on myself, but I was afraid. I didn't want to die.
I appreciate you telling me all of this.
I've never told anyone all of this before. Well, not really. Mina parts, but she suffered enough herself and Andre just wanted to forget it. Or maybe he never even thought about it. To him, I was a slave and then I chose to be a raider. That easy. That painless. It's always been easy for him, of course. He never had to change, never had to give anything up. He's not evil, but I was once going to help people. And instead I've destroyed so many more. He doesn't see that, and worse, he won't let himself see it. I'm sorry. You were being supportive, and I started ranting like a mad person. What I meant to say was, thank you for listening to me.
It's all right. I'm here for you.
Thank you. Keep the knife or get rid of it. I have no use for it, and you could tell Andre that when you see him next. But before you do that, I need your help searching another vault to see if it will have anything of use. According to Fred, this vault is somewhere to the south and west of here. We'll have to cross the bridge and then head south. I'll follow you. Nice work. Them or us. Let's not make it us. So I knew we'd win. We got this. Hopefully. We got this. Hopefully.
Go ahead and hide, little bleeder.
Them or us. Let's not make it us. I knew we'd win. Anyway, let's get going. Nice work.
You are out of your league, pal. Last
Keep me
mistake!
safe. I wasn't really looking forward to fighting a whole vault of gunners. Of course, inside is going to be a lot worse, I'm sure. Speaking of gunners, how goes John's quest to kill all of them?
Next, we're assaulting the base.
Well, that's even more progress than I expected. That means more than ever, we need to hurry. It's not your fault, of course. I mean, it is, because you're so good at killing them. But I don't blame you.
We should get going.
Right. More gunners to kill and a vault to search. Lead on. Kill them quick. I knew we'd win.
Outbreak. I don't really know how serious it is or whatever, but you might want to think about it.
There we go.
Engaging hostile. Last mistake.
Anyway, let's get going.
Take him out! Lock and load!
We'll teach them not to mess with us. Kill them quick. Nice work.
God, I hope there's a bounty on you!
Detox. Wait, this might be it. This might be what we're looking for. Stop. Please don't touch anything. I want to look at all of this. Still no cure, but I wasn't even thinking about this. About how I'd actually give him the cure. I'm a fool. You see, I was just going to just stab him with a needle of the stuff and expect it to work. But I remember now. It's not like that. This cure, if we find it, needs a detox process like this. I was so sure I knew what I was doing. But if we found the cure before now, I would have wasted it. Or for that boy, I would have ruined everything.
Do you think you can make this work?
We still need to find the Prussian blue, but as long as this machine works like I think it does, I should be able to just add the cure to the injection tank. Come on, let's get outside and then we can plan what to do next. I'm sure you've noticed, but the places to look are hospitals, vaults, and bunkers. Of course, there's one bunker I've been unsure what to do about. You mentioned earlier that you all are going to be assaulting the gunner's base next. By all, do you mean all? Well, almost all. They'd still keep some back for defense.
It sounds like it.
Then this is my best chance to check the bunker. You don't know it like I do, and you'll all be distracted by the gunners. Yeah, this will work. You don't happen to have a stealth boy I could use?
Actually, I do.
Then, please, can you give it to me? I'll find you another one. And I can give you caps now. I got 200, please.
Here, I don't need anything.
Thank you so much. And now it's time for you to return and help them attack the gunners. Don't worry about me. I'll be safe. Well, safer, not safe. It's still a risk. Everything is. Just be careful yourself. The gunners' base is going to be well defended.
Goodbye.
Find me when you're done. I'll have the cure, or I'll know where next I want to look.
Who?
I'm gonna tell you,
Dibs
fucking
on the
throw it
lead.
out!
Several from our sponsors. Stop in for a drink at the Dugout Inn. The stories are moonshine.
Welcome back. Before I assemble my people for the assault, I wanted to thank you for your good work. This has been a long time coming, with many delays, but you've helped us overcome all of that, and not without risk to yourself. Thank you.
I'm ready to get to work.
Good. Go find Andre and Mina and tell them to assemble here. I'll get Arlen. Let's meet back here.
What's got you up in a mood? Did you finally realize Mina will never sleep with you?
Don't get me started on her. I just glanced at her the other day and I was for sure she was gonna kill me. It's Arlen. He's saying I didn't install his dumb radio thing correctly. The signal isn't strong enough or something.
Wasn't he there? Shouldn't he have checked on your work?
Well, he should have, but no. He goes off on some other mission he needs to do. And of course he doesn't tell me what it is. So I'm left leading with that new recruit. You know, the one who's dumber than a box of rocks.
Imagine you being the smartest one in the group for once.
Right? It's crazy.
Hey,
I'm guessing you haven't had a Raider girl before. Maybe you'll get lucky.
You're so cute. You know that,
Hey there.
right?
Good to see you back. I was worried John might decide to assault the gunners without waiting for you. How are you doing?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Well, if that's how you felt during the last few missions, the gunners are in for a lot of hurt. But we're also thankful that you're by our side on this. I wouldn't be surprised if you questioned your part in it. Once this is done, things can change here. It won't be overnight, but soon we won't need slaves, and we can be more selective in our recruitment. I think Kat will like that too. I think she was always a little uneasy about us having slaves, even though we treat them better than any other raiders do.
Nothing's ever that easy.
I agree, it won't be easy, but I don't think it'll be as hard as you might think. Mina was probably the most stubborn and violent, but she's changed her ways a lot in the last few years. If she can change, so can the other raiders. And if not, we don't need them anymore. Anyway, I assume John wants to begin the assault?
Yes.
Then we shouldn't keep him waiting. I'll meet you at the front.
Guys, Suppose it's time for the mass murder?
Is everything all right?
No. I've been thinking about Princess, and even you. You remind me too much of her. Everything that was wrong with her, and how difficult she found it to be a raider. Like it was a real choice. I hate it. She has to make it so complex. But I had it under control. I had them under control. Until you showed up. And killing you now wouldn't fix it. I don't even know if killing Princess will fix anything. It's too late. But it's always fixed it. It was the only thing that finally worked. The only thing that always worked. You know, I've never really liked killing. And it isn't because I'm perfect like Princess. I don't dream about saving people like she does. Of course, there are times I enjoy murder, but most become or remain raiders to kill. I didn't. I never got that choice. Never got to dream.
There's always a choice.
No, not when it is delivered to die. That is not a choice. You have no option. I doubt you'd understand, though. You're like Princess. You never grew up with raiders. But I did learn something. I didn't want to learn it. No one should. But when I was alone, though not really alone, I learned one truth. Killing solves problems. All problems.
What are you getting at?
I don't know who's going to survive after this. But I think I know what won't survive after this. Princess knows what she wants. What she had. And Andre? He's probably going to die because of her. Not for her. And me. Just me. You'll go your own way. The king won't have any more use for you. He won't know what to do. Does it make sense now? It's all going to end.
Can we still be friends?
I'm not perfect, you know? Not like Princess. And I'm not going to try to be. If you can live with that, then we can be friends. But enough of this. I intended to just tell you to be careful and not trust anyone. If something feels odd, trust that feeling.
And what about you?
Well, you know I don't lie. But you still shouldn't trust me. Everyone is out for themselves. That includes Andre, Princess, me, the king, and you. Don't argue about it. I'm just stating the truth.
You're beating around the bush. Is there something you're trying to tell me?
I don't know anything. I just know things will change after this mission. The king will be lost with the gunners dead.
Got it. Let's go.
Be smart. Now let's not keep the king waiting too long.
Bye.
Hey.
All right, we're all here. We're going to go in 2 groups. There's going to be a main force led by Oynlen and I attacking from the front. You 3, however, will sneak in and start your attack. Oynlen scouted the area not too long ago, and on the southwest side of the building, there are stairs to the roof. From there, you should be able to enter their base while we attack from the front in force.
So we're gonna divide them and sow chaos both inside and out. I like it.
I thought you would. And the best part is the signal for you 3 to attack. We're going to knock on their front door with some nukes. That will get them scurrying. You'll be practically invisible to them.
When do we head out?
You 3 will leave now, since you need more time to get into position. We'll follow shortly, but a key to this is that the gunners see us approaching. Once they see us, Oynlen will use the towers to jam their communications. The forces they sent out to answer Oynlen's fake distress calls will then be stranded and unable to aid. Remember to stay out of sight and approach from the southeast. Now move out.
Stay close to me.
Lead the way.